Kratos Surgery.
Kratos is a company that has bet big on answering that question. They work specifically in aesthetic surgery, and their platform uses 3D scanning and AI to do something that's never quite been possible before. Show patients in 3 dimensions on their own phone exactly what they will look like after the procedure. Not a rough approximation, not a filtered photo, an AI processed and accurate model of their face, before and after. The man who built this is Emre Kaya, and I wanted to better understand how this changes the consultation room.
Normally, before that, the doctor is using the pictures. Before that, the doctor says to the patients, okay, please send me your picture, and we will do the simulation on it. But it's only just a profile picture. The patient's just wondering about how I will look like in the front view. And with this technology, the patient just see all the differences on their face. They just see everything on their phone in the 3D. The doctors do the simulation in their computer and they share with the patients. The patients see every detail on their phone. With this Kratos applications, they just see everything with their eyes. Everything they can decide with their doctor.
Okay, I understand they can see it, but they say seeing is believing. How real is the outcome though?
To be able to get this real and picture, the first rule is we have to scan the patient's real face with all of the structure. And to be able to get this, it depends on our technology. With our technologies, we are taking pictures and also we are scanning, we are getting the video data, and we're just combining the depth data and also video and the pictures. All of these things come together and it creates the patient's real facial structure.
Seeing is believing, but surgery is still surgery, which is why the most thoughtful use of this technology isn't about replacing clinical judgment, it's about giving surgeons a tool to extend it.
We're entrusted with our patients' faces, and in surgery, achieving a high level of standardization is vital. The biggest advantage Kratos offers, which was my motto while developing this program with Emre, is serving as a digital assistant to the surgeon. Typically, a surgeon envisions a nose in their mind, perhaps shows the patient a Photoshop mock-up, and then goes into the operating room. However, a surgeon might be tired, or they may lack extensive experience. Usually, a surgeon relies on their own intuition and aesthetic perception. Kratos changes that. The program analyzes the patient's before and after states and provides a precise surgical roadmap in millimeters. If I take these metrics into surgery and set aside my subjective perception and follow the data Emre and the program provide to adjust cartilage and bone, the result is 99% identical to our simulation.
I wanted to see this in practice, in a hospital with a real patient on a real day. So we were invited to follow the process from the first scan to the operating table.
Hastamızın 3 boyutlu taramasını yaptık.
We've just completed a 3D scan of our patient. What makes this data so valuable? We've transferred the exact dimensions of the patient's nose to the computer with millimeter precision. While there are many programs that perform 3D scans, our software uses artificial intelligence to translate those physical dimensions into a digital space perfectly. Because I have these exact measurements, I can accurately compare the current nose to the new nose I'm about to design in Photoshop.
Böylece
Instead of guessing, I can say, to achieve the look the patient wants, I need to lower the nasal bridge by 3 millimeters, lift the tip by 10 degrees, and narrow the nostrils by 4 millimeters. Rhinoplasty is often full of surprises. When we tell a patient we will lift the tip, my definition of slightly might be different from theirs. This AI support eliminates that uncertainty. I show the patient the exact degree of the lift, and I execute that exact measurement in surgery. Now let's look at the Photoshop simulation. We've designed a nose that fits this patient's face. We've removed the hump, kept the tip height natural, and corrected the nasal deviation to bring it to the midline. The work of the future starts here, because not every doctor has the artistic hand of a Picasso, or they might be less experienced. We developed this program to remove subjectivity. By overlaying the old nose with the new simulation, the program gives me a millimeter by millimeter guide. I'll present this to the patient now, make any minor adjustments they desire, and then head into surgery to perform a truly precision-guided operation.
The patient is Jeremy, and he's just flown in on a 12-hour flight from Canada, which tells you how seriously people are taking the precision this technology promises. The simulation is done, the measurements are locked, the surgeons know to the millimeter what needs to move and by how much. And now the conversation ends and the work begins. What started out as data, measurements, scans, and a digital version of a future face now is in the hands of the surgeons. In just a couple of hours, no thanks to 3D modeling, Jeremy will wake up to a new facial feature. And after a successful surgery, the results speak for themselves, and perhaps more importantly, they match.
Kratos Surgery. Facial metric engine. Built for doctors. Kratos.